girl, and she was just really sweet and shy, and she didn't have a whole lot of friends, but she moved to an area where there was this big, huge playground. And all these kids used to gravitate towards this playground. They had slides and swings and the merry-go-round thing where you get on and they spin you, and you go flying off and landing on your butt. What's her name? What's her name?
You get to decide.
You get her name?
Go ahead. Her name was Angela. And she loved the roller coaster. It was going around and round, and she loved the like this. And then she disappeared.
And then we found out that Angela used to be in the psychiatric hospital. And poor Angela would forget things. She forgot her mom and dad. She forgot she left the water on in the house. She forgot she was cooking something and burned the house. But Angela loved people, but she needed a little trip into the hospital. So now she's learning to try to remember with her friends. But they keep telling her, you forgot to come to school, and she did. And then she forgot to pay for things at stores.
Angela she was a great lady, and she actually retired here in Sun City, Summerlin, and joined the theater club in 1988. And slowly members started disappearing from the theater club. And she still may be in the club today. There's people that are disappearing monthly.
So the whole community of Sun City got together and were trying to think of what was happening with Angela and all these missing people. So they were going to put a sensor, a tag, like a GPS on her to figure out where she'd go, and then she would find out. Well, she went over to one of the girls' house and said, come back with me, because we're going to practice the drama. So the other lady, Jamie, came over, and all of a sudden, her GPS went off.
So Angela and Janine?
JJ. Oh.
So the
Jamie or
Jamie. So the GPS went off, and they didn't understand what was happening to the car. All these bells and whistles were going off, and they just didn't understand. But Angela said, you know, with all this confusion, why don't you follow me? We can go on the golf course. There's these cute little puppies that live in this den, and I could show you. So they both walk over to the den. And Janine, she's a little bit scared, but she goes willingly. And they're chatting and they're walking, and all of a sudden they see this big coyote. Ooh. And then they're starting to wonder, maybe this is where the people are disappearing.
Go.
And so they started to look around and see, you know, other people were getting involved, and they were following Angela and Janine around, and they noticed other dens. And then they also noticed like these caverns in the middle of the golf courses, and they were just like covered up, but then there was like this skeleton hand that was sticking out, and they decided to go over, and lo and behold, there were a whole bunch of skeletons in this one cavern. And they thought, wow, you know, what do we do? Do we keep inviting more people to come over and visit this coyote's den, or do we contact the authorities? Like, you know, there are over 7,000 homes in Sun City right now. Do we really need any more?
But then they found out when they went into the coyote's den that they saw Angela and they saw Janie. And all that they were doing, they were getting people together to make jewelry out of all of the bones that were in there. And the bones that were in there were just They were from Native Americans that had been there before Sun City. And what a better way to make money for the community. And when they all got together, they took all the money and they held a big party. Yay.
We're not done.
We have to talk about the party.
You know,
All right, Paula?
Talk about the party.
The jewelry party. Okay, so it's a jewelry party, and there's a bunch of skeletal things that are made up into earrings and crowns and horns and nose rings, and they thought, well, all the older people in Sun City, very old, would love to have skeletal products.
Yes.
So they decided to go up out of the cave. They went to the fire department. And they wanted to talk to the firemen and see if they could help them with the big trucks and the ladders, etc.
And when they got to the fire department, oh my gosh, I was so excited because they had Gage there, Johnny Gage, that used to be on emergency in the 70s. And he's a real paramedic now, and he is so cute. And I just like melted at his feet and forgot everything else. The end.
He was the MC at the party.
Yeah.